So, how are you guys getting by with the new interface changes so far? Hello everyone, this is Shadow Dragon back with another episode of DC Universe Online. So, not going over anything content-wise here. I'm just going to be testing out the most recent interface changes. So, um, I think it's been a bit over a week since the last update. It's now November 22nd. So, let's first take a look at what they did with On Duty. So visually, this is still the same as the previous build, um, but it's just a little bit easier to navigate with the control pad. So I have the overlay to the bottom left, so you can see exactly what I'm clicking around. Previously, like this menu would be the same, but once you get to this point, um, it was nearly impossible to queue things, or it was like really hard with control pad. Because they disabled some of the functions that we used to have. Um, I think they made everything X before, whereas before you could use like one thing to select, um, another button to actually get the checkbox, and then there was also a cancel. So so currently the events are going to be the featured items. Favorites, I don't have it fully set up, and actually let me get rid of the mouse, get the mouse off the screen, because mainly testing control pad here. We know the mouse works as it normally does. So I put a few things here. So these are per character. Um, Unfortunately, it doesn't save it being expanded and closed. I think it might do it for the session, but if I relog, it won't save that. Okay, no, it didn't do it at all. I think it's only expanded if you have one category filled out, but nothing else. Okay, so right now we're going to go to something short. Or I'm actually going to cancel this anyway, but we're going to look at the number of clicks. So starting here, it's X to select it, and then previously it would be X again, and I would have to go down using the D-pad to get to that start button. But now I can use the triangle, and it already does it. And I just hit triangle again, and the queue will pop. So I'm going to cancel that. However, the function that's still missing that we had, back with the classic menu, is we were able to cancel with the circle button, but now we can't do that. See, if I hit the circle button, it just closes. And I can't hit triangle to unready. That's what it looks like it says. I actually have to go down to cancel. Okay, so let's go over that again. Custom play, and we're going to pick a favorite. So that's already pre-selected. Ready up, cancel, and then see, it doesn't even go all the way down in one step. Like if I'm here, I have to either go all the way down on the left, or from here I have to go all the way right, which is less. It could be less steps if my left side has a lot of items, so it might be faster to go right with the D-pad and then all the way down and cancel. So the cancel function could still be improved. It needs one of the other buttons assigned to it like we had before. But aside from that, at least this is usable now with the control pad. Because the previous build, it just was not. Like, you had to use the mouse. Or if you were on PlayStation, there's no mouse option, so you have to get a PC player in your group. But thankfully all of that stuff is over, and this does work to some extent now. Okay, so let's deselect that. And the next part of this is I want to look at the allies. So they compacted the initial view where pretty much everything is on one page now. So you can get all the information, and you could go into details by selecting an ally, and then the details will actually display the details, whereas previously all you got was just a short description and you never got any of the ability details. Let me go to somebody that has more. So with that thing on the bottom left, you could see me fumbling around all the controls, like using the D-pad, trying to navigate around. So yeah, zoom has a little bit more, so you can see the scrolling. This was the tooltip previously where you had to either look at the icon at the vendor or view the icon at the Fortify in order to even display this. So right now it's in the right place, it's in the user-friendly place. So yeah, I have no complaints about the visuals here. This is probably what it should look like. However, when you get to usability though, this UI update is actually significantly worse than what we had before. Like for example, if I wanted to quickly swap this out, or swap out this ally at all. Okay, so previously if we were swapping an ally out, I would select the one I wanted to swap in and then equip it. Or you could swap out from the 3 active ones. So like previously if I put zoom on this one, it would just flip the 2. So see, right now it doesn't let me do that. I actually have to unequip first, so it's an additional step. So if I unequip zoom, and then I have to go to equip him, and then now I have an empty slot instead of the 2 just swapping in one step. So now I have to go to House of Legends spot, equip, select the support ability, and then select the slot. So I would say this is several steps back in the wrong direction. If they truly wanted to leave it neutral, they would just have that function to change from here. That would make it equivalent to before, which wasn't actually great either. That's still mediocre in my opinion. Anytime where you have slots and then you have a bunch of things that can go in the slots, they should look at other interfaces that kind of work in that way. Like you have equipment that works in that way as well. So like if I wanted to equip like these gloves, it just automatically swaps them. I'm not like unequipping and then putting the other one in. Because we have like an icon system and we have like visual slots here. It's the same case with artifacts, right? You put one in. I'm not like unequipping it. I'm just like swapping it in. You can also reference the loadout menu. Like if I move number 1 to 3, they actually swap. I don't have to unequip one, put the other in, and then drag the other one back. So in a perfect world, if they wanted to do a step in the right direction, what this actually should be is these 3 slots are actually slots, and then drag and drop these, or using the control pad, you would just use one button to pick it up and then, put it back down, just like in our inventory or in the loadouts. So this should really be on the back end modeled after any of those. What they did here was they made a completely new system that takes more steps. So yeah, I don't know. I would keep the skin of this though, the skeleton, but the back end, it just needs to have an interface that uses all of the control pad buttons in the same way as how the existing menus work, so that it would be a swap in, swap out, like in one step, not adding like 2 or 3 more steps. So anyway, that's my experience so far with those two UIs. Let's go ahead and go into one of the instances so we could look at the third UI update. Is there anything here that I might have an open feed on though? Okay, it's probably this because I don't have a lead on this character. And it's fresh in everybody's heads. So if we're in an instance, so now if you go to on duty, there's going to be a feat tab. And it does show you, like, once you've completed, same interface as the feats menu. So, if it's green, you have it done. And you could also unlock from here using the same buttons. So on control pad, it would be that. Wait a second, that's kind of incorrect. I definitely did not earn these on another character. You have already earned this feat on there. Do you wish to... Is that really going to actually go through? Okay, so good thing these didn't go through. Otherwise, I would have to cut out the video and report it. But yeah, okay, so this would be the button. Again, looking at the lower right, this would be the button that would unlock it, and it's the same as the feat menu. So same interface, no changes there. They just need to fix it in cases where it's not available on the account, because it's not available on this account. But other than that, there's no complaints about this menu. It works as described. They didn't add like any additional clicks. So now it's obviously easier to get into an instance and check the feats from this menu rather than going the old way and scrolling through everything. Okay, so that's my evaluation of the 3 interface changes. Let me know how you're getting along with these 3 menus, and thanks for watching.